What is up, guys? It is GetGowens here with another video for you guys. This video will be highlighting my ideal class setups for pre-20 level gaming on Black Ops 3. Alright, so we'll jump right in. The first class I'm going to go with is my Gorgon class. The Gorgon is a 2-shot kill LMG. I wouldn't even consider it an LMG at this point. It is a very, very, very good assault rifle style weapon. Just think of it as a slow rate of fire assault rifle. 2-shot kill anywhere on the body. It's outrageous. I'm using it right now with the reflex sight because I don't really like the iron sights that come with the gun, and I use the quick draw because you need to aim down the sights faster, and the grip because you can get reduced recoil, although it has very little in the first place. I'm using the secondary, the MR6. You don't really use secondaries too much in this game, I've noticed, but it's there if you need it. I use the frag lethal because there's not too much available to you. The concussion tactical. I use the perk 1 is Flak Jacket, perk 2 is Fast Hands, and perk 3 is Gung Ho. The main reason for these perk selection is at this low of a level you're not going to have very many available options, and I feel like these are the best at the time being. The second class I would choose is the Kuda. It's a very, very good submachine gun. It's got okay rate of fire, okay damage, but it has very little to no recoil. And it's ideal for long range if you're having to do long range with a submachine gun. I use the reflex on it. You'll notice I use reflex. I'm not a really big iron sight fan. Quick draw and suppressor. This is actually an S&D class for me. I use the frag like normal. I do not have a secondary on this weapon. I don't feel the need to. 2 concussions, pretty simple. And I actually use afterburner on this one, unlike the other one, because I generally thrust around more on this, and I like having my thrusters being fully charged very quickly. The next up is my ICR class. I'm using the Varix optic. I just prefer it on this gun for some reason. Don't ask me why, it's just my ideal preference for this. Using the quick draw attachment, obviously, for aiming down the sights quicker. It's just mandatory at this point. Grip, even though I don't really need it, this gun's very much like the ACR from Modern Warfare 2. It's got very little recoil. And I'm using high caliber because headshots, I mean, it's useful, plus I don't feel I get much use out of secondary, so this added thing right here doesn't really take much away from me. Using the lethal with a frag, no tacticals. Using the flak jacket, fast hands, and gung ho. That's a pretty similar setup you'll see in every single class that I use. For my custom 4, I'm using the Vesper. I haven't really gotten too much use out of this weapon. I've used it. It's got a very, very high rate of fire, but it's just a very good change of pace class for me, going from the slow motion versions of the Gorgon and the ICR. Using reflex on this. I don't have very many other attachments unlocked for this gun yet, but if I would, quick draw would be a necessary thing, and grip or the stock. No secondary on this one as well, even though I have the spot for it. A frag, 2 concussions, flak jacket, hardwire. I decided to use hardwire on this one, work it out a little bit. It works pretty well for this class, I feel. And awareness, because you can hear enemy movements, especially if you have a headset. This is very useful because we don't unlock dead silence to level 50. So this low-level setups will help you with awareness. And the 5th and final class is the Weevil. The Weevil's the only gun in the game I feel like I love the iron sights on, so it's very, very useful to me. So no optic on that, stock as usual, and quick draw. The Weevil is really good because it has a high capacity in its magazine, which makes it very useful in long gunfights in a corridor or per se in the house on Stronghold. It's very useful. No secondary, and lethal, and 2 tacticals. And then the flak jacket, hardwired, and tactical mask on this one, because the tactical mask takes down the flashbangs, concussions, and shock charge. And that's very useful when you're running into a building and somebody's hiding somewhere camping and they're throwing them at you. They just throw them at you and just spray and pray. So this is very useful for dimming down those effects. Next I'll want to look at is the specialist. I'm currently using overdrive because I feel none of the starting specialists are really too great. Some people prefer the Tempest, but I feel like my aim isn't good enough to use the Tempest, so the specialist is kind of like a your choice thing, but I'm just using the overdrive. The next thing I want to look at is my score streaks. I'm currently using UAV, Lightning Strike, and Hellstorm. Pretty easy setup. 800 is not too terribly hard to hit. UAV is kind of a must because it helps out your team. It's not a bad waste of a kill streak in my opinion. Lightning Strike, it's kind of like the Mortar Strike from World at War. It's not as good as it has been in other games, but what can I say? And then Hellstorm, I mean, it's nerfed from where the beta was, but it's an okay kill streak. And that'll be it, guys. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you hopefully later this week. I've got 2 really good gameplays coming for you guys using the Gorgon, which is an OP gun. Think you guys will like those, and hopefully I can impress you guys. So I will see you guys next time.